Hello everyone, I'm David. Today I have my friend Miguel with me. We are going to discuss something about the Chinese. Have you eaten yet?
你吃了吗？这个话题 hopefully one that everyone can really sink their teeth into.
哟，兄弟，
哎，哥哥，
吃了吗？
没呢，
没事，快点吃。
得了呗。
Hi,
Hey David!
have you eaten yet?
No, I haven't actually.
Well, it's 7:30. Go back and eat.
I have realized that I've been in China for a year and a half, and each time I meet someone on the street, they always ask, 你吃了吗?
So, how did you reply to them?
Usually I'll say 还没 or 哦刚吃完
Then they left.
and then they leave.
Bingo. Well, you know, it's a Chinese culture. When we really say, have you eaten yet? We just think it's a very easy way. We just make a greeting to you. Do you know, back in 1950s, China had a big starvation. People, really had a bad time. They can't eat anything. So the first thing people concern for themselves and also their friends is the stomach. So that's why they say, have you eaten yet? We just consider this as the best greeting to your friend.
Interesting, which has always confused me because in the US and other Western countries, if you were to ask someone, have you eaten yet? And you say, no, I haven't eaten. Usually then they'll say, oh, great, so you want
Let's
to go down
together.
to... Exactly.
Yes,
but in
yes.
China, I realized someone asked you, 你吃了吗？还没吃。
还没吃。
然后就没然后了。
Yeah, so let me just explain to you. This is part of a Chinese culture, and also this is a way how we Chinese greet, and we don't really intend to invite you for the meal. Excuse me.
Wow. This is what in the West and we would say would lead from hunger into hanger. The mixture of hunger and anger together.
Okay. Okay, I got that. I got
So
that.
应该小心一点。
小心点, be careful, be careful. And another thing which is very interesting, in China, when we visit somebody's house, usually either the host or the hostess will say, what would you like to drink?
客气。
Yeah, 客气啊. So when the Chinese people visit their friend's house, usually the housewife will say, 您喝点什么呀? Which means, what would you like to drink? So we normally say, 不要，我很快就走. Which means, I've got to go in about 2 minutes. I don't really want to put you in much trouble. So,
Each time.
every time.
哎呀 But what if you really don't want to drink anything, you're really about to leave? 还会是这样说吗?
They always will get something to be served.
Fascinating. So that's really quite a difference between Chinese culture and Western culture. Wow. Because again, in the US, if you were to say, hey, would you like to drink something? No, I'm fine. Then likely they'll say, oh, well, great. Well, water's here, Coke's in the fridge, help yourself to tea. That help yourself is probably the thing that you'll hear most. If you
I love
say,
this word, help yourself.
Help yourself.
Yeah.
帮助你们会怎么说吗？就帮助自己吧，你自己
自己喝对吧？
自己喝取，是的，是的。
But the Chinese people, I think we just think, oh, how come I'm not served?
啊
So this is a little like
真的是一个文化区别
culture
Yes.
conflict. So how about if like an American visiting a Chinese house, we will say, hey, would you like to drink anything? But as a Westerner, you're very directly giving your opinion. Please give me a cup of coffee, give me a bottle of water. Well, the Chinese people will think, wow, here's the menu.
我不是服务员，对吧
是的。
？Interesting. So it seems that what's spoken and what's heard is completely different.
Different. When Chinese people eat, we are sitting together, and it's you, your friend, your brother, your sister,
aunt, your uncle.
Lazy Susan. We are eating everything together. So this is a part of our Chinese culture. And when we eat things, sometimes we just serve little, for instance, if the grandparents, they want to show their care to their grandkids, they normally will just grab the food by using their own chopsticks.
Interesting. Yeah, while in China, I have also realized that it's one of the things I enjoy the most about being in China. But when you did mention giving someone else food using your own chopsticks, that is one of the pieces that I think shocked me the most while being in China, as again in that same place in Shenyang when they, we sat down, we were having the New Year's meal, and then my 阿姨 said, 哎呀, 你吃的太少了, and she grabbed her chopsticks and gave me a nice piece of meat, and I remember thinking, 这是不是味香? Is this healthy? Can I eat it? What will my mom say? But the rest of the weekend, it was that same way. Why is that?
Well, I think in China, we believe that we just give whatever we think the best to you. And we also just enjoy such atmosphere sitting together. But let me tell you, back in history, Chinese people, about like 2,000, 4,000 years ago.
Pre-US.
Oh yeah, way pre-US. We were having like a separate dishes. It's not until like to the Tang Dynasty. You know the Tang Dynasty about like
There's a song, Joe. I forget the order.
It's about like 1,200 years ago. So when the furniture idea first came to China, because before the Tang Dynasty, Chinese people were sitting on the ground. There's no chairs, no tables like that. These were all introduced from the nomadic culture.
Of bringing in chairs and tables.
Yeah, all type of these things. Before that, they are just having the separate dishes for different meals. There's a very interesting Chinese proverb, 成语, we say 举案齐眉.
举案齐眉.
You are holding a tray about the same height as your eyebrush and to serve to the person that you loved.
为什么?
Because according to the Chinese history, so this lady, she respected and loved her husband a lot. And each time to show her love and respect, she's doing it like that. And on the tray, that's the separate dishes. So that's the original, forms of eating separate dishes.
And that again came with chairs and tables.
Yeah.
Post-nomadic societies. Fascinating, which now makes sense because, again, with the US being established just in recent hundreds of years versus centuries, or millennia rather, then tables and chairs already existed, forks, spoons, knives, so it picked up from that point. And so why then did China go from having tables and chairs, separate meals, into now what we see, we're sharing one?
So it is said that because of the introduction of all furniture that allow the people sitting together. So interesting, in China, when a group of people sitting together, we do enjoy the atmosphere. We like chatting to people, especially the friend or your family. We enjoy like that. But I think in the Western way, so if you do food like a separate dishes by separate dishes, first course, second course, third course, that creates a very romantic atmosphere. So in a lot of like American movies, so after having that, maybe the next place they're going to the hotel. Am I right?
In movies, you would indeed be right.
Okay.
But in most meals, like you're saying, when it comes to different courses, likely people would 吃得太饱就回家睡觉吧.
Okay.
So usually
they'll go home. So there's another thing I would like to share with you.
Sure, yeah.
Your former President Richard Nixon, he was very famous in China, of course, and he established the relationship between China and US. And according to some records, it's at our premier, Zhou Enlai. On that night, he just held a big banquet to welcome all American delegation members. So when people were sitting there, we were providing them best of Chinese meal.
Wow, I can only imagine.
Yeah, you can imagine. And what happened was, American members, they were very politely finished every single thing
of course.
on their plate.
We pride ourselves on it.
You know what happened? Then the China's waiter and waitress, they just kept sending that for the second circle. Then your American delegation people, they just finished again. Then the Chinese chef and the Chinese waiters were so surprised. They say, wow, we need to serve them more for another third round. But at that time, Premier Zhong Lai said, hold it, stop. We don't want them blow up.
To explode, yeah.
To explode.
Yeah, so this was just the first, these were just more so 小吃 appetizer type food, or was it?
It's an entire course, I
They
guess.
were serving full,
You know, we recruited a lot of famous chefs before their arrival. We got them everybody trained. We want to show Americans the best the Chinese can do. So I assume a lot of food.
Now I realized
Yeah.
that is a great historical example.
Yeah.
And it's trickled down, I've found, into even daily life. Because me, as a still visitor and guest here in China,
yes.
when I go out and eat with people, then they're usually, 你们最好的是什么？你们给我什么推荐？ And then they'll order, it may only be a few of us, and the table is full
of food.
And then even when I slow down, they're saying, 多吃一点, 多吃一点.
Eat more.
Why is that? Because in Western cultures, perhaps excluding 西班牙, you know, in Spain and in Europe, they also enjoy, you know, their large meals. But in the US, we're more so, okay, you order what you eat, is what we say. Order what you eat. But in China, it's more so, order what you can? I don't know what you...
Yeah, it's interesting. It's just like, it's also like culture. So we Chinese people, we want to show our hospitality to our best friend. And we just think nothing but ordering more is the best way to present our hospitality. So, and in Chinese version, there's one word we call the mian. Face. I don't know what's translated in English. You call
it would be give face.
Face, yes. So we don't want to lose face in front of our friends. So especially you have your best friends, or especially you have some like seniors, or for instance, if you go with your Chinese friend, we think you, Lao Bai, as our best friend. We welcome you here. We want to show you best thing. We don't want to lose face in front of you. So that's why we just give you more food.
And so why then within that one course, every best dish and famous dish in that one seating, instead of, you know, sparsing it out in different meals, I found why within one seating having a table full? And it seems that ideally there's food left over.
Yeah, leftover in Western country, you call that dabao or doggy bags.
Yep, takeout. Or that you carry home.
Yeah. So in China, now people really take it.
Okay, so there is the dabao 文化.
But not in the past. Because in the past, for instance, if you're wealthy and rich people, rich class, they entertain everyone there. If you say, oh, take it home, they will say, what's your problem? This is leftover. Because Chinese people really think, I mean, back in the old days, leftover is only for the beggars.
So it's also with mianzi.
Yeah.
With, so if you were the person to say, 那我们把这个打包, other people may think, 在家里没有吃的吗?
Yeah.
So like no food at home. So, which I guess in the West and in the US, perhaps more so in the case where, let's say you have a potluck. So everyone brings different foods, different dishes, all shares them together. And if someone does, perhaps out of their bag, brings out some Tupperware or some plates and then starts packing it up to go, people would also have that similar sense of,
you're cheap. Or...
Exactly. But, you know, that also perhaps deals with culture, but not only larger culture, but also within culture, it's different by generation. So, for example, my grandparents, each time I go to my grandmother's house and bring friends, or even if friends aren't present, still with family, my grandmother prepares to-go plates because she'll always cook a large meal, more than any of us could possibly eat, even in 2 or 3 days. And then she has to-go plates already prepared.
That's very considerate. And to me, you know, personally, I think I feel bad to waste the food. So each time when I go out, I always the person who asks for the doggy bags.
So we're seeing then that in both cultures, it seems it's started to
Today,
adopt.
we are very similar.
Good.
Similar. So, how about your opinion after watching our discussion like this? You want to follow China rule or you want to follow the Western rule?
When you have guests at home, are you going to still give them something to drink, regardless of if they ask for something or not?
When you hear 你吃了吗, you still say 没吃回去吃 means go back and eat, or you will say let's go together and eat.
We invite you to be a chameleon of sorts. Perhaps sometimes when someone says, no, I'm not thirsty, still give them a glass of Coke. Or if you see someone who hasn't had food, tell them to go home, or you can invite them to the restaurant. You choose.
Thank you for watching. See you next time.
再见, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
来，那就到这儿了。行，没问题。
好吧，
改天再见面。
没问题，没问题。服务员买下单。
不，这是我来，我来，不是我跟你说，这我跟你说，我来，
哎呀！ Oh, wow, that was delicious.
Awesome. It's beyond my expectation. Meal is so great.
Good. Glad you enjoyed. Well, let's see, I can go ahead and just cover it now. So it's 150 total. So if you just send me 75.
75? Go Dash? Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. Let me just get your. Yes. Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
哎，好，干杯。
Cheers.
哇，
I'm so full. How about you?
哎，吃饱了。
Okay, so I will take care of the bill.
哎，你什么意思？不，你上次是买单，回来。哎，waiter，好，回来。